To make our job easier, we have taken one seat out. It's quite simple. There are 4 bolts, 2 bolts per rail to take the seat out, and couple connectors to unplug. Leaves you a little bit more room to move things around, and of course you want to protect the center console, so we put a towel on it. Now we're trying to put this pump aside a little bit, just let it hang here, while next we'll be pulling up the carpet some to pull out the hydraulic components, pull them all out of the carpet here, so that afterwards we can feed the replacements back up. A few minor steps while we're getting ready to pull the whole hydraulic system out is we have separated the computer control unit and relay blocks from the pump, put those aside. We also have taken some hoses out of their plastic guides, and lastly we're going to separate part of the wiring harness from the hoses. There's one zip tie to be cut up here, and there must be another one over here, because these connectors stay in place while we pull out the old hydraulic system. So under the carpet here we had to remove the hoses from some more of these plastic hose guides, and we had to cut 3 or more zip ties that connect the wiring harness that stays in the car to the hoses. And now we're ready to just pull the cylinders out. We actually have pulled out the right main lift cylinder already, put it down here on the floor. Now the next thing to pull through, let's see, would be the left main lift cylinder. We feed it through the carpet here, pull it out, and then move on to the valve block. That needs to be pulled down without interfering with the wiring harness. Here we go. I'm separating the wiring harness to the side, and then pulling my valve block control unit through. After that, the bow tension cylinder. And here we are. We have the whole system out, ready to replace with the new one. Good news is the new one has the slightly thinner hoses. It'll be a little easier to pull up and put those hoses back into the hose guides, as top hydraulics hoses are easier to install. Thinner, lower diameter, yet they hold up to more pressure and last way longer. We'll get into that in a separate video. It would be a little redundant to show you installation of every single component now, so I'll just show you routing the left main lift cylinder under the carpet and installing it again, simply because there is one trick left to installing the main lift cylinders. So let me quickly push this up under the carpet, and we won't bother with the exact hose routing right now for the video. Let's just get this into place here quickly so I can show you the one trick left. That is, number one, you want to put the outer bolt, mounting bolt for the cylinder, back in the bracket already. It's the one that's hard to get to, so it's easier to screw that in just enough that the threads have caught. Now you can put the main lift cylinder into place until it seats on the outside bolt, and we can now, oops, that's the demonstration effect. It just slipped out of place on me. So I'll do it again. It worked so nicely the first time around. So here we go. We move this cylinder until it seats exactly on the outer bolt. Fasten that outer bolt a little bit. Now put in the inner bolt. That's trivial. Fastening the bolts. Now we only extend the cylinder shaft exactly to the amount needed to get the mounting pin to the rod end. In order to extend the cylinder bolt, we, with a flat screwdriver, open the pressure relief valve on the pump 1 to 2 turns. I've done that already. If you have this valve closed, then it's impossible to pull the shafts out manually. So 1 to 2 turns opened on this pressure relief valve, and you can manually pull the shaft just far enough to get the mounting pin back into the rod end. Fasten it and repeat the same thing on the other cylinders, and with that we're practically done.